And welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you. We get set to go to game number 2. After a lengthy game 1, but an exciting finish as the Broncs come back after trailing 11-5 at the end of 4 innings. And they come back and win it by the score of 16-11. We go to game number 2. Taking the hill for the Broncs here in game 2, Drew Patterson. Patterson a year ago on the hill was 1-3 with an 8.29 ERA. He walked 32 batters, struck out 23. He allowed 46 hits and 50 runs, 30 of those earned in 25 1/3 inning. But Patterson making his first start for the Broncs, who are 1-0 after game 1 victory. With the loss, Southwestern Heights falls to 0-5 on the season, still looking for that first win. Leading off for the Mustangs will be the left fielder, Julius Trejo. Trejo ended up taking the loss in game number 1. Still making a few notes with our lineup here before we get started.
Up first for the Mustangs, number 8, Trejo.
And here we go. Julius Trejo to lead it off for the Mustangs here in the top of the first inning, game number 2. Patterson's first pitch and a high fly ball into right field. Right fielder going back, and it's over his head against the fence. Trejo rounds second and will be held up there, diving in just ahead of the throw, and a leadoff double for Julius Trejo. Isaac Jaquez got twisted around in right field.
Number 11.
That'll bring up Cade Thomas. Thomas at short here in game number 2. Thomas in game 1 was 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Was also hit by a pitch, swings and misses at the first offering. And it's strike 1. Parker Leak on deck. High pop foul backing out of play. And the count 0-2.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, he delivered to you? I wanted a hot dog. If I would have done that,
Patterson, the junior, looks in for the sign. Looks back at the runner. Here's the 0-2. Breaking pitch just missed inside, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, we are running about 40 minutes behind. This game was scheduled for 6 o'clock. Game 1 took 2.5 hours to complete, but a big comeback by the Broncs, winning it 17-11. Breaking pitch stayed high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Two-two pitch. Swung on and missed. Cade Thomas down on strikes.
Up next, number 2.
Brings up the first baseman, Parker Leak. Leak was 2 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 walks. Scored 2 runs, drove in 2. Bass from the left side, 1 out and 1 on. And a ground ball through the hole into left field. Trejo around third. He will score easily. And a wide turn by Leak, but he'll be held to a single. And the first run of the contest. That brings up Jaime Garcia.
Up next, number 22, Garcia.
Garcia 1 for 4. A 2-run double. Also had a walk. Struck out twice. First pitch low and away for ball 1. Jason Banman on deck. Leak a good lead at first. Pitch is low and in the dirt. Blair Jones behind the dish for game number 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Line shot into right field, and that's past the right fielder to the fence. Leak around second as the throw goes to second. And a double by Jaime Garcia.
Up next for the Mustangs, number 9, Banman.
And brings up the starting pitcher for the Mustangs here in game number 2, Jason Banman. Breaking pitch outside for ball 1. Runners in scoring position, 1 out. We're in the top of the first. Mustangs with 1 across. Patterson's 1-0. Gets past the catcher. They've got to play at the plate. Oh, it's off the heel of the glove of Drew, and the run will score. That'll go as a wild pitch as Garcia goes to third. And the count goes to 2-0. Drew from the stretch. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike to Banman. Just underway, top of the first. Game 2, line shot into center. It will fall for a hit, and Garcia will score. An RBI single by Banman adds to the Mustang lead as they lead it now 3-0.
Up next, number 10, Cox.
Brings up the second baseman, Aaron Cox. Cox in game 1 was 0 for 3 with a walk. Struck out twice. Breaking pitch low for ball 1. Jackson Stanfield on deck. Line shot right back up the middle. Banman will stop at second. 4 straight hits for the Mustangs. They've got 5 hits in the inning.
Stanfield.
That brings up Jackson Stanfield. Stanfield in right field in game number 2 here. Breaking pitch stays outside for ball 1. Manny Mendoza on deck. Patterson steps off the rubber, wanted to make sure they got the signs correct between him and the catcher. Now the breaking pitch in there for a strike. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bandman the runner at second, Cox the runner at first. There's one out here in the top of the first. 1-1 pitch. Low for ball 2, 2-1. Bronx around the defense. Gabe Cox at third. Adric Gomez-Escobar at short. Angel Davia at second. And Bodie McCormick at first base. Fouled off. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the outfield, Eli Bemis in left. Tyler Tarpley in center. And Isaac in right field. Patterson on the mound. And doing the catching, Blair Jones. Count is now 2-2. Patterson from the stretch. And the pitch is low. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Just as the Mustangs did in game 1, they've jumped out to a 3-0 lead here early. And a swing and a miss. Stanfield down on strike. Second strikeout of the inning for Drew Patterson. And that'll bring up Manny Mendoza, the catcher.
Up next, number 16, Mendoza.
Big strikeout there for Drew Patterson. Starts Mendoza high with ball 1. One-zero pitch, swung on and missed, and the count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wyatt Friesen on deck if Mendoza can keep the inning alive for the Mustangs. Quick check of the runner. Here's the 1-1 and a ground ball towards second. Angel played the hop over to first in time for the out. 4-3 on the put out, and that'll do it for the Mustangs here in the first. But they do draw first blood as they score 3 runs. 3 runs on 5 hits. They strand 2 base runners. And there were no Bronc errors. After 1/2 inning, it's the Mustangs 3 and the Broncs coming up. You're watching Bronc Baseball on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Your home for Lakin Bronc Sports. We'll be back after this.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
We go to the bottom of the first. The Broncs trailing the Mustangs 3-0. As I said in game 1, pretty busy day for Lakin High School athletics. Track teams at Johnson today. Golf team was at Buffalo Dunes today. Softball is at Southwestern Heights. And do have an update from track. 2 school records set today at the Stanton County Invitational. Erin Michaelis set a new school record in the girls' high jump, and Coulter Oldham a new school record in the shot put. So definitely a great start of the season for those 2 individuals. And as the Broncs have been lately in past years, looking for another strong season on the track.
Up first for the Bronx, number 2, Drew Patterson.
Drew Patterson will lead it off for the Broncs here in the bottom of the first inning against starter Jason Bandman. Bandman the lefty, Patterson the right-hander. First pitch low for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Patterson lays off and takes it for ball 2. Bandman from the wind. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Drew swinging a miss, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a 2-1. Stays high to Drew, and it's 3-1.
Let's all pretend that she doesn't have me wrapped around her little finger.
Bandman's pitch outside, and that's ball 4. Drew Patterson with the leadoff walk. That'll bring up Gabe Cox, the third baseman.
Up next for the Bronx, number 5, Gabe Cox.
Do have an update from Southwestern Heights. The Lady Bronx softball team won game 1 by the score of 10-7, and they are tied at 3 in game number 2. Cox lifts a high fly ball towards right field, and it will fall for a hit. Patterson had to wait to see if it would be caught, and he's going to go first to third on the hit. It's a good heads-up base running that time by Drew Patterson, and Gabe Cox with the single.
Next at bat, number 20, Adric
So,
Gomez.
So far, a pretty successful day for Bronc Athletics today. Sounds like the track teams are off to a good start. Haven't seen an update on golf, but hats off to them for playing dunes in the weather they played in today. Brings up Adric Gomez Escobar. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Adric bats from the right side. Lefty looking at the runners. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, Cox was off on the pitch. He'll steal it without a throw. And it's a 1-1 count to Adric. One pitch, stayed high. 2-1 to count. Drew Patterson at third. Gabe Cox at second. 2-1 count to Adric. Missing inside, and the count goes to 3-1. Adric takes high for ball 4, so the second walk of the inning loads the bases for Bodie McCormick.
Up next, number 33, Bodie McCormick.
Taking low for ball 1. Had to update our score bug. I had 2 outs up there. There's nobody out with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. And that went in at the knees for strike 1. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Eli Bemis on deck. And another one at the knees for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Bodie, the starter in game 1, but was not involved in the decision. Pitched 3 innings. Swings and misses, and that's a strikeout for out number 1.
Up next for the Bronx, number 11, Eli Bemis.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Eli Bemis, batting from the right side, and he lifts a short blooper into right field. That will fall for a hit. Drew will score. Gabe around third. He will score. So a 2-run single for Eli Bemis. Eli off to a good start this season. In game 1, Eli was 3 for 3 with a walk, 2 triples and a double. Scored twice, drove in 2. Adding to that total here in his first at bat in game 2. Brings up Tyler Tarpley, the center fielder. Bats from the right side. Runners at the corner. Now 1 out in the inning. And a strike 1 count. Fouls that one out of play off the first base side. And the count 0-2. Bemis was off on the pitch, has to retreat to first. No 2 pitch and a line shot into left. Shaky scores easily. And the Bronx have tied it up at 3.
Up next, number 12, Isaac Hawkins Garcia.
Nice try.
Bemis goes to second on the play. And an RBI single for Tarpley. 2 on now, 1 out for Isaac. And he squares the bunt, but takes outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And fouls that one up the third base side. 1-1 to count. Bandman checks the runner. Here's the 1-1. Pitch stayed high for ball 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angel Davia on deck. Broncs have tied it up here in the bottom of the first after the Mustangs scored 3 in their half. And that misses outside. And Isaac has worked the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Isaac down on strikes for out number 2. Second strikeout of the inning for Jason Bandman. That'll bring up Angel Davia.
Up next for the Bronx, number 16, Angel Davia.
Davia, the winning pitcher in game 1. Bandman on the hill for the Mustangs is 0-1 on this season. Turn toward second to keep Eli Bemis close. And this isn't a fair assessment of Bandman on the mound at all, but it's amazing to look at his ERA at 1.05 with an 0-1 record. But just one bad inning can inflate that pretty bad. So that's not going to be indicative of the type of player that he is, definitely by far. 0-1 to count. Swing and a miss. And Angel down in the count 0-2. Jones on deck. If Davia can keep this thing alive for the Bronx. Ball in the dirt, scoots past the catcher, and the runners will advance 90 feet on the wild pitch. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch taken low. And it's 2-2. Base hit here would score 2 for the Bronx. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. And that's out number 3. But the Bronx do come up with 3 runs to tie it up. 3 runs on 2 hits. They strand 2 base runners. And there were no Mustang errors. So after 1 complete, the score. Mustangs 2, Bronx 2. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the second inning for you right here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Don't go away. We're back after this. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. We go to the second inning. Bronx and Mustangs all knotted up at 3. Leading it off for the Mustangs will be the center fielder, Wyatt Friesen. And then we'll go back to the top of the lineup for Julius Trejo and Cade Thomas. An update from boys golf at Buffalo Dunes today. They're still waiting on a few scores to be turned in, but unofficially right now looking like a second place finish for the Bronc golf team. So that's a pretty good start for the season there. Tough conditions today for the Bronx opener. Line shot right back to Patterson, and that ball is in front of the hill, and Drew is down. Timeout on the field. The runner will be safe with an infield single, but that's the least of our worries right now. Drew's back on his feet. I think he's going, he ran into the dugout. I think he's looking for the shades, possibly. Scary moment there, for sure. I'm not sure. No, I think he's got some paper towels to his, maybe his cheek, maybe. Not sure. But the good thing, he is back on his feet. That's encouraging there. So we have a break in the action. And Drew, he must have taken it off the nose because he comes out with a so. I'll tell you what, they're going to let him have a couple pitches here, but that's definitely the sign of a competitor. Take one off the nose on a comebacker, go and grab some paper towel, stuff it up a nostril, and back to the hill you go. So I'll tell you what, that's a competitor. That'll bring up Julius Trejo. Trejo led off the game with a double and scored the game's first run. Friesen at first. Nobody out. We're in the top of the second. High and outside for ball one. High fly ball towards left. Left fielder in, and it will drop in front of him. And it'll drop in for a hit. So 2 straight singles for the Mustangs to start this second inning.
Up next for the Mustangs, number 11, Thomas.
Brings up Cade Thomas. Thomas a strikeout victim in the first. Runners at first and second, nobody out. In the top of the second. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Check of the runner at second. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch low and in the dirt. Jones able to keep it in front and hold the runners. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. And that pitch low and away for ball 2. that pitch in there for strike two. 2-2 the count. Drew checks the runners. Breaking pitch. Grabbed by the shortstop. Over to second for the double play. So Thomas lines out to Adric at short for one away. And they throw back to second to double off Friesen. That play going 6-4 for out number 2. The double play there gets the Broncs out of a big jam.
Up next, number 2, Leak.
And now a runner at first with 2 outs for Parker Leak. Throw to first. They've got him in a rundown. And Patterson will run him down. Caught stealing. 1-6. And I just had it in my head how that was going to work, and now I lost my train of thought. 1, 3, 6, 1 for out number 3. I always look at it as you get one of those long ones, back and forth. I always try to see if I can get it right. The problem is I get it in my head, then I blink and I forget what I was just thinking about. So the Broncs get out of a huge jam at the end of that inning. And with that rundown, Parker Leak will lead off the third for the Mustangs. And we head to the bottom of the second. Mustangs 3, Broncs 3. We're back right after this.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Leading it off for the Broncs in the bottom of the second inning will be the catcher, Blair Jones, and he takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. And takes that one outside for ball 2. Drew Patterson, the top of the lineup, on deck. High looping ball down the line. It stayed fair. It looked like it was going to loop into foul territory, but I think that northwest wind blew it back into fair play. So Blair Jones with the leadoff double. I kept waiting for that to go foul, but the wind blew it back in.
2, Drew Patterson.
So a leadoff double for Blair Jones. That'll bring up Drew Patterson. He'll be followed by Gabe Cox. And Drew reaches out with the bunt, and it's a great bunt. no chance to throw him out down the line. So an infield single for Patterson on the bunt as Jones goes to third, and the Broncs are in business here in the
Next,
bottom of
number
the second.
5, Gabe Cox.
Gabe Cox comes to the plate with a single and a run scored in the first inning. Adric on deck. Drew with a good lead at first. Off on the first pitch. And Gabe Cox takes it for a strike. Drew with the stolen base. And a strike one count to Cox. Bandman looks back at the runner, the 0-1. And that's back and just out of play for strike two. 0-2 now to the Bronc third baseman. Missed low. 1-2 the count. Blair Jones at third, Drew Patterson at second. Nobody out in the home half of the second. Bandman checks the runners. And that one off the end of the bat, foul up the first base side. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cox with the liner into center field. Center fielder underneath it. And the Bronx runners misplayed that one on that fly ball. Fly to center, 4-1 away as the runners stay put.
At the plate, number 20, Adric Gomez Escobar.
Now there's one out in the inning. Pitch is low for ball one. Adric with a walk and a run scored in the first. And takes that one outside for ball two. Bandman checks the runners. Adric fouls that one back into the screen for strike one. 2-1 to count. Bodie McCormick on deck. Blair Jones, the runner at third. Drew Patterson at second base. And that stays high for ball three. 3-1. And that pitch is low, and that will load the bases for Bodie McCormick. 2 straight walks for Adric.
Up next, number 33, Bodie McCormick.
Bases are loaded, still 1 out in the bottom of the third.
Do what?
Pitch count for their pitcher.
Yeah. 45? Do you have 45? For Lakin? I have 45.
You've got 45?
Heights.
For Heights?
Yeah.
I thought you had 34. Oh,
It,
32.
yeah.
3, it's 1, 5, 6, 7, 38, 39. Oh, I got 39.
Okay, with the pitch count 45, they will make a pitching change, and while they do that, we're going to take a break as well. A lot of great sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports U2 possible. Want you to hear from all of them. We're back after this.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
Lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Pitching change being made for the Mustangs. Coming over from first base is Parker Leak. First pitch to Bodie is a strike. Bodie with a line shot into center. Center fielder overruns it. Jones will score. Patterson will score. They're going to wave Adric around. He will score as well. Bodie with a 3-run double, his 3-run scorer.
Up next for the Bronx, number 11, Eli Bemis.
That'll bring up Eli Bemis, and just like that, the Bronx have the lead. Still trying to figure out the defensive alignment for Southwestern Heights. It looks like Memo Tellez will go to first base. There's the first pitch to Eli, and it's outside for ball one. Eli with a 2-run single his first time up. Breaking pitch in on the outside corner for strike one. Count even. Runner at second. That is Bodie McCormick with 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Eli down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch and a grounder towards third. Garcia checked the runner and throws it past the first baseman. Bodie around third. He's going to score.
Up next for the Bronx, number 4, Tanner Tarpley.
Eli goes to second on the overthrow. That'll go as an error on the third baseman. And the Bronx now lead at 7-3. Brings up Tanner Tarpley. Line shot fielded by the second baseman, quickly over to first in time as Bemis goes to third on the play. 4-3 on the putout for out number 2.
Up next, number 12, Isaac Hawkes Garcia.
Leak with the wine. First pitch on the outside corner for strike one to Isaac Hawkes Garcia. Line shot right back to the mound. Leak able to pick it up and throw to first in time for the out. 1-3 on the putout, and that'll do it for the Bronx here in the second inning. But the Bronx come up with 4 runs on 3 hits. They strand a base runner, and there was one Mustang error. After 2 complete, Bronx on top by the score of 7-3. We'll take a timeout. And we'll be back with the third inning after I figure out my innings here. There we go. Got it figured out. We're ready to go. We're back after this.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You can lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
It's time to get involved with the Lakin Recreation Commission, 702 North Campbell in Lakin. The Lakin Rec Commission with a wellness center, aerobics, adult programs, youth programs, sewing, and more. For more information about all the great activities of the Lakin Rec Commission, call 620-355-7039. The Lakin Recreation Commission, providing recreational opportunities to enhance the quality of life for the people of the community by promoting social interaction and the productive use of leisure time.
Parker Leak leads it off for the Mustangs in the top of the third. Drew Patterson back to the hill. And Leak with a flare into left field. Oh, and Bemis can't come up with the play. That'll go as an error on the left fielder as Leak is safe at first. I'll bring up the third baseman, Jaime Garcia. Jaime with a double and a run scored in the first inning. First error of the second game for the Bronx, and a balk is called. And Leak will go to second. Now a runner in scoring position. Pitch blown away to Garcia. And it's ball one. Breaking pitch on the outside corner evens the count at 1-1 strike. Patterson checking the runner. 1-1 pitch. Taken on the outside edge for strike 2. Breaking pitch at the knees. Got him looking for out number 1. Third strikeout of the evening for Drew Patterson. Now with 1 out, that brings up Jason Banman.
Next, number 9, Banman.
Banman fouls that one back. Breaking pitch off the glove of the catcher back to the screen. Leak will go to third on the wild pitch. Sun is in that just that right position here at Laux Park, setting in the west, and it is brutal for anybody on the left field side of the diamond. See the third baseman, Gabe Cox, trying to shield his eyes with his hand. Adric with the shades on at short. Swing and a miss. In the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jason Banman. Rough time of night for fielders here at Laux Park. Patterson's breaking pitch. They called third strike. Second straight strikeout for Patterson. Both coming at breaking pitches at the knees. That'll bring up Aaron Cox. Runner at third is Parker Leak. Breaking pitch. Cox ducked out of the way, but I thought he almost ducked into it. Probably not what he was intending to do. But it didn't hit him, and it's ball 1.
He was like, they need mamas. And I'm like, okay. He had like 6 of those blue dots in his backpack. I was like, he was giving them out to everybody. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well,
Patterson checks the runner. The 1-0 stays high for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
he was like, nah, I felt like 6 of those things that she asked for.
Jackson Stanfield stands on deck. If Cox can keep the inning alive. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and it's outside for ball 3. Three-zero pitch taken at the knees for strike 1. And that pitch is low for ball 4. That brings up Jackson Stanfield.
Up next, number 15, Stanfield.
Runners at the corners. And 2 outs here in the top of the third. Bronx on top 7-3 after winning the first game of this doubleheader 17-11. Stanfield squared the bunt, pulled the bat back, taking strike 1 as Cox steals second. And a line shot just foul up the right field line in the count 0-2. Drew looks in for the sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. They'll throw to first to make it official. And that'll do it for the Mustangs here in the third. No runs for the Mustangs, no hits. They strand 2 base runners. And there was 1 Bronc error. We go to the bottom of the third. Broncs still lead it by the score of 7-3. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronc Baseball.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
We go to the bottom of the third. Broncs on top of the Mustangs, 7-3. Brett Hendricks with you. Thanks for joining me today for Broncs Baseball. Broncs 1-0 after a Game 1 win here earlier. Southwestern Heights already with 5 games on their record. They come into this Game 2 0-5 on the season. Angel Davia leading it off for the Broncs. Swings and misses, and it's an 0-1 count. He'll be followed by Blair Jones, and back to the top of the lineup for Drew Patterson. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Parker Leak. Misses inside for ball 1. Swing and a miss, and Angel down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angel, the winning pitcher in Game 1. The third Bronc pitcher to pitch in the game. Bodie McCormick started the game. Angel fouls that one off to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. Eli Bemis came on in relief of Bodie, and then Angel relieved for Eli to earn the win. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Leak. Angel fouls that one back and out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the third. Shadows starting to get a little bit longer here on the field at Laux Park. Swing and a miss. Angel down on strikes for the second time tonight. And that's 1 away. That'll bring up Blair Jones. Jones with a double and a run scored in the second inning.
Blair Jones.
Mustangs started the game with 3 runs in their top half of the first. Broncs answered with 3 in their half, and then 4 runs in the second. That's where we stand. Broncs lead at 7-3. Pitch to Jones, a line shot past the diving third baseman up the left field line. Jones around second on his way to, around first on his way to second for his second straight double. And that brings up Drew Patterson.
Up to the plate, number 2, Drew Patterson.
Drew at the plate still has the wad of paper towel in his nose after taking a line shot in the last inning. And as I said earlier, just good to see him back on his feet. Takes that one low for ball one. Gabe Cox on deck. Parker Leak looking in for the sign. Quick look back to Blair. And there's a line shot up the middle for Patterson. And Patterson not hesitating. He'll go to second. And that'll be an RBI double as Blair Jones scores.
Next up for the Bronx, number 5, Gabe
That'll
Cox.
bring up Gabe Cox. So Drew has been on 3 times in this game. Had a walk and a run scored in the first, a single and a run scored in the second, and now an RBI double here in the third. And the Bronx extend their lead to 8-3. Gabe Cox 1 for 2. A single and a run scored in the first. He flew out to center his last time up. Takes that one low for ball one. Adric on deck. Line shot over the second baseman into right center field. Patterson had to wait, and they will hold him up there. Gabe Cox with a single. If Drew doesn't have to wait to see if that goes through, he would have scored easily. But he had to make sure that ball squirted over the second baseman. And that'll bring up Adric with runners at the corners and 1 out here in the third. Adric with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Got him. Caught Gabe Cox leaning the other way. And that's 2 away in the inning. Could almost see that one coming. Gabe just got caught leaning the wrong way. Pitch to Adric. Swing and a miss on an inside breaking ball. And it's 0-1. Drew Patterson, the 2-out runner at third. There's the 0-1 from Leak. Swing and a miss, and Adric down in the count 0-2. Pitch is inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Bodie McCormick on deck. One-two pitch. Ball skips past the catcher, and Drew will score on the wild pitch. 2-2 the count to Adric. Swing and a miss, and Adric down on strikes. We're out number 3. But the Bronx come up with another run. 1 run on 3 hits. They strand a base runner. And there were no Mustang errors.
They're on.
After 3 complete, the Broncs now lead it by the score of 9-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the 4th inning for you right here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lakin Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Leading it off for the Mustangs in the top of the 4th inning will be Manny Mendoza, will be followed by Wyatt Friesen, and then back to the top of the lineup. 0-1 pitch fouled off the first base side. And the count 0-2. Mendoza wastes that breaking pitch by Patterson to stay alive at 0-2. That was a good breaking pitch. Is the wind dying down any? A little? Not too bad. Looking across the way at the trees, and they don't really seem to be moving much. One ball, 2 strikes, the count to Mendoza. So the wind dying down a little bit here at Laux as the sun falls down in the west. High pop-up. Davia going out and can't catch up to it. And that'll fall for a leadoff single. That'll bring up Wyatt Friesen.
Up next for the Mustangs, number 3, Friesen.
Friesen 1 for 1. Singled in the second, but was doubled off on a line drive to Adric at short. Friesen swinging, strike 1. Manny Mendoza, the runner at first base. Here's the 0-1 breaking pitch. Gets past the catcher. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. And that pitch at the knees for strike 2.
When I saw it in the Amazon card, I was like, what the heck is this?
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Patterson looking in for the sign. Swing and a miss. And Friesen down on strikes for 1 away. Sixth strikeout of the game for Drew Patterson. That brings up Memo Tellez. Swings and misses for strike 1. Patterson checks the runner. Breaking pitch high for ball 1. 1-1 to count. Cade Thomas on deck. One pitch is low and away for ball 2. 2-1 to count. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and the count goes even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Patterson throwing from the stretch. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Ball gets past the catcher. They'll have to go to first to retire him as the runner advances to third. And that's now 2 outs in the inning for Cade Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2, struck out in the first, lined into the double play in the second inning. Breaking pitch fouled up the third base side. Left side of the diamond now almost shaded from the sun. Drew standing on the mound still has a little sun in his eyes. Adric at short trying to shield the sun with his mitt. Swing and a miss. Thomas down in the count 0-2. So just here in just a few more minutes, Laux Park will be in shade. 0-2 the count. Runner at third, 2 outs in the top of the third. Breaking pitch, line shot into right. It will fall for a hit. Thomas a big turnaround first, but he'll stop there with the RBI single as Manny Mendoza scores.
Up next for the Mustangs, number 2, Leak.
Parker Leak now to the plate. Leak 1 for 2. An RBI single and a run scored in the first. Reached on an error in the third. Bats with a runner at first. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Bronx leading it now 9-4. Pitch is back to the backstop. Thomas will go to second on the wild pitch. And it's a 1-ball count. Patterson throwing from the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Looper up the left field line will fall for a hit. Thomas around third. He scores easily. And an RBI single for Parker Leak. That brings up Jaime Garcia.
Up next, number 22, Garcia.
Run scored makes the score 9-5 in favor of the Bronx. That pitch was high. That'll go as a passed ball as Leak goes to second. Pitch is low for ball 2, I believe. Timeout called at the plate. I wish the umpire would give the indication of balls and strikes. He does it in front of his body, but he doesn't do it for us up here. And I think he's got. I think he showed a 2-1 count, but I'm not sure. Ground ball in the hole, and we'll roll into left field. That'll go as a single for Garcia, and that'll bring up Jason Banman.
Up next, number 9, Banman.
Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Jason Banman. Banman 1 for 2. An RBI single in the first, struck out looking in the third. Squaring to bunt. Throw to first. Garcia diving back in. Nice heads-up play by Gabe Cox to back up that overthrow back to the pitcher. Fouled straight back. Garcia was on the move, but he'll have to go back to first. 1 strike to count. And Bandman lifts that one back and out of play. 0-2. Batterson checks the runners. The 0-2 just missed outside, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch stayed high, and the count now even at 2-2. And that pitch is low, and the count full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at the corners, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Mustangs with 2 runs across. Patterson's payoff pitch is high, 4 ball 4, and that'll load the bases for Aaron Cox. And a timeout on the field. Hunter Kirby to the mound to try to settle Drew down in this half of the inning. Cox fouls the first pitch off to him. 0-1. Mustangs with bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. No 1 pitch. Nice block in the dirt by Jones. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking pitch, lone in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. Drew from the stretch. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Gets past the catcher. And the runner at third will score easily. And the count goes to 3-1. And the score now 9-6. Swing and a miss, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Update from Bronx Golf today at Buffalo Dunes. As a team, brought home second place. Nice start, especially in the conditions they played in today.
Up next, number 15.
Walk loads the bases. Brings up Jackson Stanfield. They're still in the top of the fourth. 2 outs. And that's high for ball 1. Mustangs have batted around in the inning. Stanfield, the 9th hitter to come to the plate. And a flare into left center just off the top of Adrich's glove. 2 runs will score. Throw that, and they throw it into right field. Three-run score on the play. Only 2 will be credited as RBIs. As Stanfield goes to third on the error. And a pitching change now will be made as the Mustangs have tied it up at 9 apiece. Adric Gomez-Escabel will come to the hill for the Bronx. So with pitching change, we're going to take a break as well. We're in the top of the fourth. Mustangs have tied it. We're tied at 9. We're back right after this.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
Pitching change being made for the Bronx. Adric Gomez-Escabel now to the hill. Drew Patterson will go to shortstop. Drew still responsible for the runner at third. And batting is Manny Mendoza for the second time this inning. He led off the inning with a single and scored. And it's a 1-0 count. And a roller towards second. Bodie deep in the hole over to Adric, who wins the race to the bag. And that'll do it. 3-1 on the putout. And that's 3 away. Mustangs with 6 runs across in the inning. On 5 hits. They strand a base runner. And there was 1 Bronc error. We go to the bottom of the fourth, tied up at 9. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this. You're watching Bronc Baseball on your home for Lakin High School Sports, Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
Oh, this stupid When it's time to do that welding, don't do it yourself and make a mess out of it. Call Hendricks Professional Welding Service in Lakin. On the farm, on the ranch, or at your place, or at Hendricks Welding 3 miles west of Lakin. Welding done right the professional way. Call Brad Hendricks of Hendricks Welding at 355-6734. That's Hendricks Welding. Don't do it yourself and make a mess. Just call old Brad.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. Leading it off for the Broncs will be Bodie McCormick. He'll be followed by Eli Bemis and Tanner Tarpley. And Bodie takes the first pitch. I don't know if it was a ball or strike. And he fouls that one off the first base side and out of play. We're going to say it's 1-1. Mustangs with 6 runs in the top of the inning, tied it up at 9. And Bodie taking at the knees for strike 2, 1-2 the count. Bronx led at 9-3. And that pitch is outside for ball 2. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking pitch and a bouncing ball towards short. Thomas goes high to get it. And the throw just in time for the out. 6-3 on the putout. And that's one away for Eli Bemis.
Up next, number 11, Eli Bemis.
Drew Patterson, the starter for the Broncs in game 2, will end up with the no decision as he exits the record tied at 9. Pitch to Eli Bemis is low for ball 1. Bemis 1 for 2, a 2-run single in the first, reached on an error in the second. Swings and misses, and he's even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tarpley on deck. Breaking pitch low and in the dirt. And it's ball 2, 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leak looks in. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, and the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. From the windup, here's the payoff pitch. And a roller towards second. Chest high hop over to first in time for 2 away. 4-3 on the put out. And that brings up Tanner Tarpley.
Up next, number 4, Tanner Tarpley.
Nobody on, 2 outs. Tarpley 1 for 2, an RBI single in his first at bat, and then grounded out his last time. And a bouncing ball towards short. Made the order hop over to first in time, and that'll do it for the Broncs. Here in the third, 6-3 on the put out. And that'll do it for the Broncs. They go in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and no Mustang errors. After 4 complete, we've proved nothing as we're tied at 9 as we go to the 5th. We'll be back right after this. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Mustangs 9, Broncs 9.
Up first for the Mustangs.
And leading it off for the Mustangs will be Manny Mendoza, be followed by Wyatt Friesen and Memo Tellez. Adric on in relief of starter Drew Patterson in the top of the 4th inning. Got the Broncs out of a jam to end the inning. Two 2-0 the count. And now 3-0. And a called third strike on, a called strike on the outside corner keeps the count at 3-1. And that pitch wide for ball 4. Mendoza with the leadoff walk. That brings up Wyatt Friesen. Adric checks the runner, off on the pitch. It's a strike, throw not in time. Stolen base for Mendoza. Oh, 0-1 to count. To Wyatt Friesen. Adric checks the runner. Here's the, and a looper into shallow right field. Will fall for a hit.
That's a plate, number 11, Thomas.
See you later.
Ask Mrs. Bachman if she wants me to bring Sadie back to put her to sleep.
I'm all
for
over
another 2
it.
hours. Okay, we'll be right back. Do you guys need anything?
I'm good.
Sorry about the dead air there. I was trying to figure out my book. I had it all messed up. 1-0 pitch to the backstop, but the runners will not advance.
Okay, so Thomas got out. How did Thomas get out? Did you get him? Did he pop up to somebody?
Did he get thrown out at? No, he got a pop up to Drew. Drew caught it.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
6 for 1 out.
Pop 6 for 1. Okay.
Okay, and 3-0 on Leak. Okay. 31.
Throw to third, and it gets past the third baseman. The runner will score. That'll go as an error on the catcher. Tellez goes to third. And the Mustangs on top, 10-9. And a walk to Parker Lake brings up Jaime Garcia with runners at the corners and 1 out.
Next, number 22, Garcia.
And here comes the slow walk from Coach Steve Davidson. And I think pitching change will be made. Gabe Cox looks like he's going to catch. And we'll see who they bring in to the mound. And looks like it's going to be Angel Davia. So pitching change being made for the Broncs.
Did Adrian finish the last thing, or did he just start pitching this inning?
He just started pitching.
No, he had two pitches last inning.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna wait and see what the defensive changes are going to be. Angel will come in from second to pitch. And looks like Cox is going to come in to catch. And we'll wait and see where they put Blair Jones. He may go to second, and not real sure because Adric will probably go to third if I was to guess.
They just said 0 for 6, is that what you said? So that's Mendenhall?
Yeah, it's Grant.
So Grant's coming in for Blair.
So we'll try to figure all the defensive change.
Okay.
I'll be in the outfield.
Yep, Adric will go back to third. Gabe Cox will come to catch, and Grant Mendenhall will enter for Blair Jones. Mendenhall's going to go to right, and that's Isaac going to second, I believe. And we're set to go. Runners at the corners, one out. Mustangs back in front. Pitch is low and outside. And the stolen base for Parker Leak.
So should I put it as 33 or should I leave it as first pitch? I would put it as 33. Yeah. Well, I have him now.
Angel looks in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count even at 1-1 to Jaime Garcia. One pitch outside. And it's 2-1. Did he just flash 3-1?
Yeah, I think so.
Line shot off the bag. Up the right field line. 1 run will score. Leak around. And they got him.
So what was that?
So Garcia will get credit for an RBI single. He'll go to second on the throw. Leak is out 3-2. And that'll be the second out of the inning.
What'd you say? Number 8. Number 8 scored already. 8. I mean,
Number
there's
eight's
no
on
8.
that,
8.
no, it's number 9.
8.
Yeah, 8 is
Ground ball to third.
19 is in.
Throw is low. Nice job of snagging that one by Bodie. Now snap it back to third, but the runner's safe.
Okay, did anybody score? No, not that time.
Okay, and this is Aaron Cox.
Yes. Runners at the corners.
You said 8 is now
19.
And the pitch to Aaron Cox is low for ball 1.
Where did he hit it?
Aaron Cox with the 3-1 pitch, with the 3-1 count.
So I got confused. Bodie almost got him out, but
Oh,
he didn't. Well, I was changing a player and I got confused again, and all of a sudden he was right at base.
trying to think where did it go?
I just put that safe.
Full count pitch by Angel. Swung on and missed and got him swinging. Cox down on strikes, 4-3 away, and that'll do it for the inning. And I'm just going to take a timeout to try to figure out this scratching on my book. We're going to take a timeout. We go to the fifth for the Broncs. We'll be back after this.
Lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Leading off for the Broncs in the bottom of the fifth. Isaac Jaquez Garcia against Parker Leak. And he takes the first pitch at the knees for strike one. And now make it strike two. Check swing, but he went around for strike three and one away. Brings up Angel Davia. He'll be followed by Grant Mendenhall. Want to know the count to Angel. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on and missed, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the wind in the 1-2. Breaking pitch missed just outside, and it's 2-2. And the second straight strikeout for Leak. And that brings up Grant Mendenhall. Two outs now in the bottom of the fifth. Swung on and missed, strike one. Drew Patterson on deck. Here's the wind in the 0-1. Low and inside for ball one. Evens the count. At the end of 3 innings, the Broncs led it 9-3. But the Mustangs have scored 8 straight to lead it by 2 here. Swing and a miss. And Mendenhall down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fairly reminiscent of how the first game went. Mustangs led all the way. The Broncs came charging back late. That pitch outside and back to the screen. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mendenhall strikes out to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Parker Leak as he strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and no Mustang errors. After 5 complete, the score, Mustangs 11, Broncs 9. We're back after this.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
We go to the 6th inning. Mustangs leading the Broncs 11-9. Broncs looking to sweep. Mustangs trying to salvage a split after the Broncs won game 1 by the score of 17-11.
Can you see it flashing?
Yeah, that's what they're looking at. Oh, they got it.
Well, he was like, he's kind of.
Are we on the 6th?
Yes.
First, number 15, Stanfield.
Jackson Stanfield will lead it off for the Mustangs here in the 6th inning.
It might have, well, they scored a few at the end, so it might have been 5.
And a little looper caught by Bodie for out number 1.
Up next, number
That'll
6,
bring up Manny Mendoza. White freezing the batter in the on-deck circle. Nobody on, 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th. Here's the wind and the pitch outside for ball 1. Pitch is low and in the dirt. Ball 2. Angel looking in for the sign from the catcher, Gabe Cox. Here's the 2-0. And it's inside for ball 3. Rio pitch is outside, and a one-out walk delivered to Manny Mendoza. That brings up Wyatt Friesen. Friesen 1 for 2. An infield single in the second, struck out in the fourth, reached on a walk in the fifth. Runner off on the pitch, throw not in time. Pitch was a strike. Here's the 0-1. Pitch stayed outside for ball 1. 1-1 to count. One pitch lifted into shallow center field. Center fielder charging, can't make the play. It'll fall for a single as Mendoza goes to third. And that'll bring up Memo Tellez. Tellez with a single and a run scored his last time up, takes the first pitch in at the belt for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, ball skips away from the catcher as the run scores. That'll go as a wild pitch. Let the count 0-2 to Tellez. High fly ball towards right. Mendenhall going back, can't take it, and it'll fall for a hit over his head. And the runner scores.
Up next, number 11, Thomas.
The run scores on the double by Memo Tellez. Mendenhall took a couple steps in, but he couldn't reverse and make up ground to take that ball in. That brings up Cade Thomas, who takes the first pitch for a strike. Score now 13-9, and a timeout at the plate. There's the 0-1, breaking pitch inside. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch, lone outside in the dirt. Cox keeps it in front. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Mustangs with 2 across in the inning. Runner at second, just 1 out. Two 2-1 pitch. Lifted. And that's a fair ball. Bronx will get lucky and get the out. So that play goes 2-3 for the out. Bronx catching a break there. Now 2 away as Tellez goes to third. Huge break there for the Bronx.
Number 2, Leak.
Now Parker Leak batting with 2 outs. And the runner at third takes that one high and outside for ball 1. Fouled out of play. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Angel looks in. Here's the 1-1. And a line shot into left field. It'll fall for a hit as Tellez scores. An RBI single for Parker Leak. That brings up Jaime Garcia.
Up next, number 22, Garcia.
Pitch is low for ball 1. Jason Banman on deck. Pitch is low. And skips past the catcher as the runner goes to second. Here's the 2-0. Fouled back and out of play. 2-1 to count. Check of the runners. Here's the 2-1. And puts it right back up the middle and into center field for a single. Run will score. And it's now 15-9. Jason Banman up to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Here's the 0-2. And a line shot into right. Skips past the right fielder. Garcia will be held at third. Banman with a single and an error on the right fielder, as the runners were able to advance 90 feet. And that'll bring up Aaron Cox. 9th batter to come to the plate for the Mustangs in this inning. Still 2 outs in the inning. Pitch is high for ball 1. Fouled back for strike 1. 1-1 to count. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. 4 runs across for the Mustangs in this half inning. Angels 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. 1-2 the count. And a strikeout to end the inning. And that'll do it for the Mustangs. But they had 4 more runs on 5 hits. They strand 2. And there was 1 Bronc error. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Broncs have work to do. They trail it by the score of 15-9. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronc Baseball.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
Drew Patterson leads it off for the Broncs in the home half of the 6th, trailing by 6. He'll be followed by Gabe Cox and Adric Gomez-Escobar. Drew fouls the first pitch off, out of play off the first base side. 0-1 to count. Leak looks in. Here's the 0-1 to Drew. And that one fouled straight back and out of play. Drew down in the count 0-2. Here's the wind in the 0-2. Breaking pitch. And that's driven into right center field. It'll fall for a hit. So Patterson drives the 0-2 pitch into right center for a leadoff single.
Up next for the Bronx, number 5, Gabe Cox.
I'll bring up Gabe Cox. Cox 2 for 3. Snap throw to first. Patterson in standing.
It looks like Braden Ansel. It's Braden Ansel. That's the jacket he had on earlier. That looks like Braden Ansel.
Memo Tellez, the first baseman, holding Drew on, but a good lead. And the throw to first once again. Ball gets away from Tellez, but not far enough for Drew to advance. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Broncs led at 9-3 at the end of 3 innings. But 12 straight by the Mustangs, and that's where we stand. Cox swings and misses, 0-1 to count. Leak checks the runner. Here's the 0-1. Low. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gabe takes the pitch, and it's a strike, and the count 1-2. Update from softball: the Lady Broncs sweep it today, winning 10-6 and 13-7. Actually, 10-7 and 13-6. So thank you, Kim, for the update. So congratulations to the Lady Broncs softball team with a sweep at Southwestern Heights today. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High fly ball into left center field. Center fielder over in the gap. And a dive by the left fielder, can't come up with it. And it's a race around the bases. Cox will stop at second, and Patterson cruises into third. That'll go as a double for Gabe Cox.
Up next, number 20, Adric Gomez-Escobar.
That'll bring up Adric. Chance to drive in a couple. Adric 0 for 1. He has 2 walks, 2 runs scored. He struck out his last time. Bodie McCormick on deck. 2 runners in scoring position. The Broncs desperately need these 2 runs across. Pitch is outside for ball 1. Leak with the wind, and the 0-1 to Adric. Lone in the dirt, gets past the catcher. Patterson up the line, will score. It's ball 2, the count, and a wild pitch allows Drew to score. Cox goes to third.
Is that from our
Probably our guy warming up.
Poor Brady. I'm pretty sure that's Brady.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Way inside. Adric backing out, and it's 3-0.
Gabe is on third.
Yeah, but I never got it. I still got my second.
Strike taken. And the count 3-1. Looked to me like it was inside, but they called it. So many times it seems to be assumed that that's an automatic strike, and that changes the whole complexity of the at-bat. And there, Adric takes one outside, but it's a strike. Frustrates me when a 3-0 pitch is an automatic strike, whether it's a strike or not. It just changes the whole complexity. But Adric will get the walk. That'll bring up Bodie McCormick. Bodie 1 for 3. Had a 3-run double in the second inning.
Next, number 33, Bodie McCormick.
I've been slacking on my pictures.
But this only drops like this once he's gonna record this game.
Your sheet will be right.
Yeah, only this one right now.
I've just been trying to keep the little totals per inning.
Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Leak, I haven't wrote anything down since the third. Is it still?
And a roller towards second. Second baseman will pick it up, tag the runner, and throw to first in time. Cox does score on the play. So Adric out 4 unassisted, 4-1 away. Bodie out 4-3 on the
Next,
double
Broncs,
play,
number 11, Eli
and gets an assist, gets an RBI, and that brings up Eli Bemis now with nobody on, 2 outs.
There's 2 outs.
Bronx do add another run, but they still trail it 15-11. Bemis takes outside for ball 1. Want to know the count. Leak with the wind. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low and inside for ball 2. Two one breaking ball stayed high for ball 3. Tarpley on deck for the Broncs. Nobody on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Three-one pitch outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk. Eli Bemis brings up Tanner Tarpley.
So I'm really curious to see if it is.
Up next, number 4, Tanner Tarpley.
Tarpley hit by a pitch. And he'll go to first with 2 outs.
Next up, number 12, Isaac Hawkins Garcia.
That'll bring up Isaac with 2 outs, 2 on. Takes a strike at the belt. 0-1 the count. And that one low for ball 1. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Angel Davia on deck. From the stretch, here's the 1-1. Foul backing out of play, and the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch skips past the catcher. The runners will advance 90 feet. And the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the catcher will have to go to first, and does in time to retire the side. Broncs do come up with a couple runs. On 2 hits, they strand 2 base runners. And there were no Mustang errors. After 6 complete, the score, Southwestern Heights 15, the Broncs 11. We'll take a break. We're back after this.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at the one and only fantastic Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
We go to the 7th inning. Leading it off for the Mustangs will be Jackson Stanfield. He'll be followed by Manny Mendoza and Wyatt Friesen. New pitcher for the Bronx, Braden Ansell, takes the hill. And he will take the batting spot of Angel Davia. Bronx winning game 1 by the score of 17-11. And believe it or not, that was 2.5 hours ago. So 2 marathon games to start the season for the Bronx. And they still have some work to do if they want to gain the sweep here tonight. Stanfield comes to the plate.
Up first for the Mustangs, number 15, Stanfield.
Stanfield 1 for 4. Has struck out twice. A 2-run single in the 4th. We're in the top of the 7th. Pitch misses outside for ball 1. And a roller towards first. Bodie with the hop. And will step on the bag for 1 away. 3 unassisted for 1 away. And that brings up Manny Mendoza. Mendoza 1 for 3, a single and a walk. He scored a couple runs. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. And he fouls that one off. And a count 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the line from Ansell and the 1-1 pitch. Pitch stays high for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Just missed inside, and it's 3-1. Three-one pitch outside, and a 1-out walk to Manny Mendoza. That brings up Wyatt Friesen. Friesen 2 for 3, 2 singles and a walk, and a balk called. Now moves Mendoza to scoring position, and he's going to take off and go to third. They tag him. What do we got? Going to be another balk? The thing is there, if he wasn't on the rubber, he can do whatever he pleases. I don't know that he was on the rubber when he threw to third. Now they're going to let him stay there, so I guess they called another balk. But I wasn't sure if he was even on the rubber, because if he's not, he can throw anywhere he wants to. So he must have been. Friesen takes high for ball 1. Runner at third, one out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball towards second. Isaac comes up with it, throws to first in time, but a run will score. 4-3 on the putout and an RBI for Friesen. And that's 2 away. Brings up Memo Tellez. Nobody on, 2 outs. Pitch low and outside for ball 1. No pitch, misses inside for ball 2. Two-0 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. Here's the wind in, the 3-0. And that's low for ball 4. With the walk, that'll bring up Cade Thomas. Cade 1 for 5, an RBI single in the 4th. And a ground ball towards short. Flip to second in time for the out. 6-4 on the putout. And that'll do it for the Mustangs in the 7th inning. But they come up with another run. On no hits, they strand a base runner. And there were no Bronc errors in the inning. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Broncs trail it by the score of 16-11. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the 7th inning right after this. Don't go away.
Lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Braden Ansel will lead it off for the Broncs as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Parker Leak back to the heel for the Mustangs. Mustangs with the 5-run lead, looking to gain a split here and win their first game of the season. With their first game lost, the Mustangs were 0-5. Ansel on in relief of Angel Davia. Bats here to start the bottom of the 7th for the Broncs. Leak with the wind. And Ansel taking for strike 1. Swing and a miss. And down in the count 0-2. And swinging for strike 3 and the first out of the inning.
Thank you. Up next, number 15, Enrique Ortega.
Enrique Ortega to bat for Grant Mendenhall. Bats from the left side. First pitch, high for ball 1. And a called strike on the outside corner. And here's the 1-1. And it's 2-1. And called second strike on the outside corner, and the count even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Foul tipped into the glove for out number 2. And that brings up Drew Patterson.
Up next, number 2, Drew Patterson.
Bronx down to their final out. And they're going to have to do the work with 2 outs if they're going to come back in this one. Patterson 3 for 3 in this game. He walked in the first, singled in the second, doubled in the third, and singled in the sixth. Checked and took it low for ball 1. Two and 0 count to Drew. There's the wind from Leak. Breaking pitch in there for a strike.
You'll just hear the whole building go, no.
I'll see it. No. I bet you $5. Like, either the senior or the freshman.
2-1 pitch outside, and the count 3-1 to the Bronc leadoff hitter, Drew Patterson. Gabe Cox on deck if Drew can keep this inning going for the Bronx. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's inside for ball 4. That brings Gabe Cox to the plate. Gabe 3 for 4, doubled his last time up. Swing and a miss. Patterson on his way to second. A delayed steal there. And it's a 1-strike count to Gabe Cox. Quick check of the runner. Here's the 0-1. And it skips past the catcher as Patterson goes to third on the wild pitch. 1-1 to count to Gabe. Here's the 1-1. High pop-up in foul ground. First baseman giving it a chase, but can't catch up to it. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Bronx now down to their final strike. Pitch is low. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How many practices did you tell MJ to get out of, and MJ refused to get out of? He was like, I know me. There was at least, what, 2, 3?
Here's the wind in the 2-2. And a slow roller up the first base line. Leak off the mound. And he's safe. Cox down the line, outruns it, and that'll go as an infield single and an RBI. And that brings up Adric. Adric 0 for 1, but he's walked 3 times.
Number 20, Adric Gomez Escobar.
So the Bronx not quite dead yet. Breaking pitch outside for ball 1. Inside corner at the knees, called for strike 1. It's even now, 1-1. Check of the runner. Here's the 1-1. That's low. Two and one to count. Ball skipped past the catcher. Runner couldn't pick it up. Two balls, 1 strike to count to Adric. Leak checks the runner. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Misses outside, and the count goes to 3-1. Three-one pitch is low. And a walk issued to Adric brings up Bodie. Now runners at first and second, still 2 outs. Bodie 1 for 4. 2-run double in the second. Grounded into a double play in the 6th. Well, it didn't end the 6th, but and takes that one low for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Outside for ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low for ball 3. So Parker Leak in danger of walking the bases loaded here. Down in the count 3-0 to Bodie McCormick. And a strike taken at the knees. And it's 3-1. It's inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Eli Bemis. And a timeout, and we're going to have a pitching change. So we'll see what the change is going to be. Looks like they're bringing in the right fielder to pitch.
He pitched some in the first game.
Jackson Stanfield will come in from right field to pitch. And while we do it, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Rural communities are known for their unequaled support of their hometown sports teams. KCB Bank can help you take it to the next level. We now offer Hometown School Pride debit cards, and these cards feature your hometown team mascot so you can show your pride each time you buy something. The best part, they're made right here on site, so there's no waiting for one to come in the mail. Get in touch with us right now and let us help you show your hometown pride. KCB Bank, with 3 locations, Garden City, Lakin, and on the web under your favorite search engine. Member FDIC.
Pitching change for the Mustangs. Jackson Stanfield comes in from right field. Memo Tellez will go to
Number 11, Eli Bemis.
right field. And I think Jason Bandman goes to first. Eli Bemis hit by the first pitch. As a run scored, he'll get credit for the RBI as Cox scores.
Number 4, Tanner Tarpley.
That brings up Tanner Tarpley. Tarpley 1 for 3. Got an RBI single his first at bat this game. Batting with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 1. No 1 pitch and a ground ball. Skips off the shortstop into shallow center. 2 runs will score as Adric and Bodie touch home plate. Bemis stops at second base.
Up next for the Bronx, number 12, Isaac Jaquez Garcia.
Isaac Jaquez Garcia now at the plate. Eli Bemis, the tying run at second base. Strike taken on the outside corner. Isaac, the 9th batter to bat in this inning. Check of the runner at second. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 the count. Bronx down to their last strike once again. Here's the pitch. Missing low and away. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout. And that's your ball game. Bronx come up with 4 runs, and they'll come up 1 run shy. 4 runs on 2 hits. They strand 2. And there were no Mustang errors. Add up the totals. Southwestern Heights. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick timeout and we'll add up all the totals and we'll have them for you when we return. The Broncs lose it by the score of 16-15. And with that, they'll earn the split here in their season opener tonight against Southwestern Heights. The Mustangs picking up their first win. They'll go to 1-5. Broncs will go to 1-1. And they'll get set to host Scott City on Thursday. So we'll add up the totals. We'll have them for you when we come back.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com. Red Ripsimo established the Lakin Dairy in 1997 and is now a leading producer of high-quality milk for human consumption. The Lakin Dairy is proud to be a big part of the Kearney County economy and community. With fantastic, dedicated, and hard-working employees, the Lakin Dairy prospers in the heart of, as Fred calls it, the Midwest Feed Shed. Always supporting the Lakin High School students, the Lakin Dairy, a verified premium operation, is honored to call Kearney County home at lakindairy.com on the internet.
Broncs lose game 2 by the score of 16-15. Here are the totals. For the Mustangs, 16 runs on 20 hits. They stranded 11 base runners while committing 1 error. For the Broncs, 15 runs on 12 hits. They stranded 8 base runners and committed 3 errors. The winning pitcher for the Mustangs, Jason Bandman, and the losing pitcher for the Broncs, Angel Davia. Davia takes the loss here in game 2, after picking up the win in game 1 in pretty much the same fashion as the Broncs won game 1 17-11 with the late rally. They almost pulled this one off late here tonight, but came up 1 run short, and they'll go to 1-1. The Broncs back in action on Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon into the evening, as they host Scott City. And I want to make the announcement, I will not be on the air Thursday night with Broncs baseball due to a prior commitment. And we'll be back next Bronc home game, but we'll check the schedule and we'll be on the air for that. Other games going on tonight, the Lady Bronc softball team at Southwestern Heights swept the Lady Mustangs, winning game 1 10-7, winning the nightcap 13-6. Bronc golf team finishing second at Buffalo Dunes. I think that's the Sublette Invitational hosted by Sublette at Buffalo Dunes, but second place finish for the Bronc golf team. And the track team was at Stanton County today. And I did see that there were a couple records set. Congratulations, Aaron Michaelis setting a new school record in the high jump, and Coulter Oldham a new school record in the shot put. So haven't seen any other results for Lakin track, but I would imagine those results will be posted here pretty soon. I haven't seen any team results or anything like that. But so far, a pretty good start to the spring sports for Lakin all the way around. And still no results posted on KS Miles Split for track. So we'll have to check that when we get home. Been a long night of baseball here at Loucks Park. 2.5 hour game 1 and an almost 3 hour game 2. So a long evening here in the season opener for the Broncs. And we'll see if we get a chance to talk to Bronc head coach Steve Davidson. And hopefully he'll come up and visit with us. And if he does, I better plug in a headset. I was out here early to get things set up today, and it's still crazy that I was just barely on the air starting when we got started with game one. So as I was telling Jennifer when we got started here, I've been doing this for 17 years, but every time I have a first game of a season, it's like I've never put this stuff together before. So okay, got one plugged in. If Coach comes up and visits with us, I think he's going to. And he's coming this way. But once again, the Broncs with the split here tonight, winning the opener 17-11, losing the nightcap 16-15. And once again, the Broncs will be back in action on Thursday as they host Scott City. Lady Bronc softball will be hosting Scott City on Thursday as well. The Lakin Invitational Boys Golf Meet here at Lakin on Thursday. So a busy day at Lakin High School in the spring sports part of it today, and it's not going to get any easier as, heck, we're already into April. And now we're joined by Bronc head coach Steve Davidson. And, Coach, with the JV game to go to start the day, we didn't get a chance to talk pregame like we normally get to do, but what a wild night this has been. The Broncs showing a lot of resolve with a comeback win in game one, but fell just a little bit short here in game two in a game that looked like they jumped out 9-3, looked like they really had it under control. But still with a season opening split, a lot of work to be done, but it could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what I said after the game. Great comeback in the first game, got things rolling, and then up 9-3, and then we just have a rough inning, and we start standing around, don't hit the ball anymore. Just a lot of work to do, a lot to learn.
And the thing about it is, you talked about a rough inning. You've been around this game long enough, and we've all been around this game long enough, and that's all it takes. One flat inning that can doom you. And there again, that bad inning tonight, the Broncs didn't have enough to come back from it. But, unfortunately, all the bad goes with the good, but I think there was a lot of good things that this team showed tonight, even though it was just the first two games of the year. Like I said, still a lot of work to do, but there were actually some good things that I think if you go back and look at it, this team did some good things.
Oh, yeah, we did. A lot of good things. We had, a couple of young kids come in and threw the ball down in the zone, got some ground balls. Some of our pitchers – Bodie, Drew even got the ball up a little too much, and with the wind blowing like it was earlier, anything goes up in the air is hard to catch. Yes, they should be caught, but it is tough, especially when they hit it hard and it's way up in the air, and because you take a couple steps the wrong way, then you're in trouble. You're not going to catch it, and again, Angel came in and did good. He pitched 3 games, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Pitched a little bit in the JV game, but did a real good job. Just get ground balls, and we made plays. So,
and you talk about Angel in that first game, he ended up picking up the win in relief. He was the third pitcher of record, but he had a stretch of 4 pitches, 4 outs, and I'll tell you what, that conserves your pitch count really good.
Yeah, absolutely. and again, the other way is when we make a couple mistakes and then we add pitches to our pitches.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. We did a lot of plays that we should have made and didn't, but we still hit the ball. We really hit the ball pretty solid. I thought for the most part. The bottom of our order is going to have to do a better job of putting it in play. We were missing a couple guys at the track meet today that'll help us definitely hitting the ball, but that's no excuse. These kids, but we're just not real experienced out of some of our other than our top 5 or 6 guys, we just don't have a lot of baseball experience. They try hard, they work hard, they listen. I just wish they'd hear what we say a little more, maybe. But they're trying. They're trying. I know they get upset when they don't do things right, and that just hurts them. Really, they need to quit showing quite as much emotion and just keep playing hard.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is, with the doubleheader tonight, and of course you said you were missing some players due to track, and of course that just happens with players doubling up.
Yep.
And but those younger players should go home tonight and be happy with the experience they got. Don't go home and kick yourself.
Yeah.
Go home and think about what you did, what you can learn from it. Look at the things you did right. Don't let the one thing you may have done wrong overshadow the three things you did right.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a young player better. And you know what? Every team's got young players. It doesn't matter what level you're at. High school, college, pros. You've got rookies that break in, and they're making mistakes as well. So there's always going to be young players on a team that you just hope that they learn from it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And a lot of things. We just can't make the same mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna make mistakes, but learn from the mistake, and then hope we don't make it the next time. And that we're kind of, I don't know, we get stuck right there sometimes because a lot of things happen tonight. We covered in practice. We've really gone over it many times, but then we come out in a game, we kind of forget what we're doing. But we'll keep working. We're gonna see some good teams on down the road here, so we're gonna have to keep working and get better.
One thing about it, though, the Broncs 32 runs on 25 hits in the first two games of the season. I'm sure you'll take that, but you'd like to see 2 wins if you're going to score 32 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we knew there'd be a run scored with the way the wind was blowing out, but there'll be other days, I'm sure, the way it looks, the wind's going to blow every day. So sometimes it'll be out of the north, sometimes out of the south. So, you just got to know how to react as soon as the ball's put in play on which direction the wind's blowing. And
you talk about the wind blowing, and that's where players, and not that it's any worse here at Lakin than it is somewhere else, but when the wind's out of the north, this is a great hitter's ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
When the wind's out of the south blowing in, this is one of the toughest ballparks to play in. This is a wide open, spacious outfield. Like I said, when the wind's blowing out, you can spray the ball everywhere. When it's blowing in, it seems like you can't get one out of the dirt area.
Yeah.
And that's just the way this field plays, but this field has a history of playing that way. And maybe that's one thing, too, that the players need to take advantage of. Say, hey, we've got this at home. We've got to keep the ball down. We'll wait for them to make mistakes, and we jump on it.
Yeah, exactly true. And that's what we talked about with the pitchers, just keeping the ball down. And we didn't do a real good job of that. But it's early. We didn't. I mean, I know we walked a few, but we made major improvements over what we did last year, right? As far as throwing the ball over the plate. So. And
I didn't get a chance to count it up, but there weren't very many walks tonight, really, that really would come back and haunt this team. But pitching tonight, Bodie struggled a little bit in game 1, but the problem with error was the defense kicked it around. They had 5 errors in his 3 innings pitch, so that makes it hard on him. But when the Broncs cleaned up the errors, that's when the Broncs started making that comeback. So, Bodie, of course, first outing, he'll get better as the season goes by. Drew, very scary moment early in game 2.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I don't think he took a direct hit on that comebacker. It did bloody his nose up, but I think it was more of a glancing blow than it would have, maybe a head on, because tell you what, that's tough. Just run to the dugout, get some paper towels, stuff it up your nose, and back out to the mound. But very scary moment, but glad to see him come back.
Yeah, he did battle. That was kind of a wake-up call, I guess, maybe, and he went back out there and threw the ball really well, for a couple innings, and then we got that one inning where we just made a couple mistakes, and then just we couldn't get anything done.
Yeah. Hitting-wise, like you said, you talk about the top 5 hitters, Drew, Gabe, Adric, Bodie, Eli, all put the ball in play. Eli had a great first game, two triples, a double. The hitting, like I said, I think the hitting was well ahead of what you would want right now. But hitting the ball, I thought game 1, top 5 did well hitting the ball. But I look in game 2, a lot of colored in squares, all coming from those top 5. So get those other 2 players back. And the thing is, the 2 you're losing are starters, so you get them back. Now that takes you down not 5. Now it takes you down to 7 with the experience that you got.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. I mean, we need the guys in the bottom, or at least put the ball in play. Do something. And tonight it was just too many swings and misses. But again, they'll get better. Like I say, they don't have a lot of experience. We talk about going up there just like it's BP.
Yep.
And we say that, but it's really hard for them to feel that same way. And hopefully, if we keep drilling that in their head, they'll go up there and say, "Hey, it's just BP. Go up there, swing the bat, put the ball in play. Don't try to do too much with it. Just put the ball in play."
One of the things I wanted to talk about with you, and we didn't get a chance, like I said, in a pregame, and probably good for me because I was running behind schedule. And I told Jennifer, I said, you know what, I've been doing this for 17 years, but I look at this equipment, it's like the first time I've ever set it up before. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to set up, and I got here 20 after 2. Oh. It's like, are you kidding me? But one of the things I wanted to talk about, and we're going to talk about it a lot during the year, but this is your final season at the helm of Lakin baseball. And gosh, who would have ever thought that 28 years ago we'd be sitting here in 2024 talking about a lot of amazing wins, a lot of amazing seasons. You've had a lot of great players that have gone through this program, but it's going to be a special year for you.
Yeah, it definitely is. And and I told these guys when we started practice, okay, this is my last year. You probably most of you know that, but I guarantee you, I'm going to do everything I can to make it one of my best years.
Yeah.
And which I got to be patient because I'm not near as patient as I used to be. But
none of us are.
Yeah. We're going to work hard. We're gonna stay after it, and we're gonna get better. We are.
Yeah. And one of the fun things that happened a little over a week ago was the alumni scrimmage. And I know there was a lot more alumni that showed up, and I think that was a lot of the emphasis of them showing up, knowing it was your final one. But got to see a lot of the older faces. Some of them still brought some game. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, my assistant coaches, I know, got online and talked to a bunch of guys, and I really appreciate that. Coach Helfrich came back, and haven't seen him in a long time. That was a lot of fun to talk to him, and we faced some really, really good pitching. We get some really good pitchers out there, alumni-wise.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt when you bring Ryder Yakel back to throw in the alumni game, and he's still active.
Yeah.
He's still on a roster.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for the kids to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, to see what it takes to be, a good ball player, and it's more than what most of them think. I really do.
Yeah.
Think that.
Well, Coach, it's late. Let's go home.
No kidding. My toes are getting cold.
Yep. Unfortunately, the Broncs with a split tonight, but things will, like I said, there's a lot of room, a lot of work to be done, a lot of games yet to be played. So, as always, I appreciate you coming up and talking to me, and I'll get a little more organized the next time I'm up here. I don't believe I'm going to be here Thursday as the Broncs host Scott City unless something will change. But my plan is I won't be here on Thursday, but I should be here for the next home series. So best of luck on Thursday, and we will look forward to talking to you down the road.
All right, thanks a lot, Brett.
You bet. Bronc head coach Steve Davidson. Once again, the Broncs start the season 1-1 with a split over with the Mustangs here tonight, winning game 1 17-11 and losing the Nightcaps 16-15. Well, that's going to wrap it up from here at Laux Park. I want to thank all the great sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. Without them, we definitely couldn't do this by ourselves, and we thank them for all they do. J.D. Ham with the tech support, definitely couldn't do it without him as well. And if it wasn't for J.D., we would never have had LakinSports.com. So much thanks goes to him, and a lot of the credit goes to him, and people just don't realize what he means to what we've done in the past 17 years. So that's going to wrap it up here, and I also want to thank Jared. I know he's not listening, but Jared with my tech support, my brains on the electronics, he walked me through our Game 1 issue and got us going. So best of luck to the Broncs on Thursday, and we'll just follow us on Facebook. We'll let you know the next time we're on the air. And until then, get out and enjoy some spring sports. Track team's off to a good start. Golf team's off to a good start. Softball's off to a good start. A lot of excitement at Lakin High School. So get out and support these kids. I know they'll appreciate it. Till then, God bless. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.